Hello, and welcome to Storytime here at Exploration Place. I am Mr. Josh, and I'm going to be reading the story of Hansel and Gretel today from a collection of stories for 4-year-olds with permission from Cottage Door Press. You can also find this book here at our Explorer store. Okay, are you ready to get started? All right. Once upon a time, a little boy and a little girl named Hansel and Gretel lived at the edge of the forest with their father, a poor woodcutter, and their stepmother. One night, the family had very little food left to eat. Hansel and Gretel overheard their father and stepmother talking as they laid in their beds. "There are too many mouths to feed," said their stepmother. "We must take the children into the forest and leave them there." "No!" protested the father, for he loved his children. "We must, or we all die of hunger," ordered his wife. That night, Hansel crept out of the house. He filled his pockets with little white pebbles, then went back to bed. Early the next morning, the stepmother hurried Hansel and Gretel out of bed. With a heavy heart, the woodcutter led his children into the forest. As they walked along, Hansel dropped the pebbles from his pocket onto the path. When they reached the middle of the forest, the woodcutter said, "Wait here. We'll be back soon." But their father and stepmother didn't return. Soon it was getting dark. Gretel was frightened. "We'll find our way home," Hansel told her. Before long, the moon lit up the white pebbles along the path. "Don't worry, we'll follow the pebbles home," said Hansel. The woodcutter was happy to see his children again, but their stepmother was furious. After a while, the woodcutter and his family had very little food again. "Tomorrow, we will take the children deeper into the forest," the stepmother cried. This time, Hansel left a trail of breadcrumbs. When their parents didn't return again, Hansel said, "We'll follow the breadcrumbs I dropped on the path. They will lead us home." But the birds had eaten all the crumbs. Tired and hungry, Hansel and Gretel curled up under a tree and went to sleep. The next morning, they wandered through the forest until they came to a cottage made out of candy and gingerbread. Hansel and Gretel greedily ate the candy. Suddenly, an old woman opened the door. "Come in," she said. "I've got more food." The old woman fed them well and then put them to bed. Hansel and Gretel didn't know that the old woman was actually a wicked witch who liked to eat children. When Hansel and Gretel woke up, the old woman locked Hansel in a cage. Then the witch set Gretel to work, cooking huge meals to fatten him up. Every morning, the witch asked Hansel to hold out his finger to feel if he was fat enough to eat. But clever Hansel held out a chicken bone instead. The witch's eyesight was so bad that she thought it was Hansel's thin finger. One day, tired of waiting for Hansel to get fatter, the witch decided to cook him anyway. Grabbing Gretel's arm, she said, "Go and check if the oven is hot enough." And she pushed Gretel towards the open oven door. The wicked witch was planning to eat Gretel too, but Gretel guessed the witch's trick. "I'm too big to fit in there," she said. "Oh, you silly girl," crackled the witch. "Even I can fit in there." And she stuck her head inside. With a great big shove, Gretel pushed the witch into the oven and shut the door. "The witch is dead!" cried Gretel, and she set Hansel free. As they left, the children discovered the house was full of jewels and gold, so they filled their pockets and set off home. Their father was overjoyed to see them. He told them that their stepmother had left, and they now had nothing to fear. Hansel and Gretel showed their father the jewels and gold, and they never went poor or hungry again. All right, friends, if you want to make this story come to life at home, you can build and engineer your very own gingerbread house. So you can use things like graham crackers, popsicle sticks, cardboard, tape, scissors, beads, jewels, candy, whatever you want, and create your own gingerbread house, just like here in the story. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll hope to see you next time. Bye.